What's up, YouTube? It's Hayes, and we're back for another video. I know it's been a little while, but I also just wanted to say before we get right into it, thanks so much for the support recently. It's been absolutely mind-boggling. I can't thank y'all enough. Um, I think we're at about 160 subscribers as of now. Can try to shoot for as big as possible before the end of the year. Let's shoot for 200. Screw it. Let's shoot for 200 by the end of the year. That'd be incredible. Y'all have been absolutely amazing with the support, and let's get right into it. So we have Iron Valiant here today for how to use it in competitive. Now this thing is absolutely insane. So let's take a look at its typing real quick. So Iron Valiant has an entirely unique typing of Fairy and Fighting. Two very strong options. Decent defensively, but that's not really the point. I mean, like, look at this thing. It's just meant to be an absolute monster. Look at those attacking stats right now. So we have 130 attack, 120 special attack, and 116 speed. Now this thing has all the tools it needs to just hit things extremely hard with that entirely unique stab combination. HP defense and special defense is alright. I mean, it's kind of frail, but that's all right. You just have such ludicrously high attacking stats. And so you have an immunity to Dragon, which can be taken advantage on to position yourself in for breaking. You also have 2 4x resistances in Bug and Dark, which can also help you. This thing's an amazing mixed wall breaker. It's truly unique in that aspect. Like, I can't think of anything right now that can really like match up to it in terms of its just phenomenal like coverage of both like the attacking spectrums. So this thing's doing insane damage from both sides of the like attacking stat. So its ability, like all of the Paradox mons, it has Quirk Drive. So with Electric Terrain or Booster Energy, it boosts its highest stat or by 1.3 times or 1.5 of its speed. This has a lot of applicable uses. It can help give it that extra muscle or a Choice Scarf boost without being locked in Electric Terrain or by using Booster Energy. Either is really good. I like Electric Terrain a little better, even though it's a lot like less viable than the like Sun counterpart with Photosynthesis, because you can maybe have like a speed boosting and then be like Life Orb or something like that. But it's incredible, absolutely amazing. So now let's get into its notable moves. This thing has absolutely ludicrous coverage. It gets the stab options, Moonblast, Spirit Break, attack from both sides, either special or physical, and then close combat and focus blast, respectively. It's one of the few things that has knockoff this gen. A lot of things had knockoff taken away in the shift to Gen 9. Gets decent coverage options, Thunderbolt for like flying types or bulky waters, Poison Jab to kind of help versus some of those fairy types or grass types even. Size Shock can beat down the poisons that might give it trouble. I forgot to mention, I believe this thing only has one type that it doesn't hit for at least neutral or better, which is poison. So that's kind of the application for psychic coverage here. It also gets good setup options in Calm Mind and Swords Dance, which is amazing. I literally could not list all of the good moves this thing gets. This thing can do absolutely whatever you want it to do. It has so many good moves that can fit for just about any matchup you have. Get some dumb shit like Liquidation even, for whatever reason. Gets like Leaf Blade, stuff like that. Energy Ball. All that. It gets also elemental punches, which is cool. Yeah, literally has so many options that I could not fit all of them. I couldn't even come close. So let's look at some notable pairings. So as I mentioned before, this thing is a fairy and a fighting type. Both of those options, they do help with a poison type. So these two right here, we have Clodsire and Glamora. And these will be kind of tasked with taking on those fat fairies. And in the case of Clodsire, also, it also acts as a poison that can beat other poisons for Iron Valiant. And another very good characteristic of both of these Pokemon in Clodsire and Glamora is that they both offer amazing hazard support, which just helps Iron Valiant to be absolutely lethal. Both of these are just good for breaking down those big fairies that might give Iron Valiant trouble, setting up hazards so it can sweep or claim KOs easier, and yeah. Next, for pairings, we have two phenomenal steel types. So these also help in the regard of beating down fairy types, of course. And in the case of Iron Treads, it's also can beat poisons, like hit poisons really hard, threaten them. I guess Goldango does too. And both of these Pokemon have unique qualities that absolutely help Iron Valiant. Goldango can block any type of removal, as it's immune to status moves, which is amazing for keeping hazards on the field, which can further help Iron Valiant claim KOs. And also Iron Treads has access to Rapid Spin, which can remove hazards for Iron Valiant to help it stay around longer, because it does not have that good longevity. You don't want Iron Valiant trying to take hits. And lastly, we have some Dragon types. Now, Dragon types do pair really well with these fairies as a way to get to that Fairy Dragon Steel Core that's so advantageous, so nice to have on just about every team. Two Dragon Dark types, which is cool, kind of break Ghost, but also just straight up has really good type synergy with a Fairy Fighting type. All of these Pokemon are just insanely good. We got Roaring Moon, just absolutely ludicrous Pokemon. Amazing attack stats. Hydreigon is an incredibly good like supporting piece. Gets rocks, kind of pivots around. Really good special option. Then Garchomp can also help deal with poisons with its ground typing. Set up both Stealth Rocks and Spikes this gen. And just kind of act as another kind of breaker, kind of supporting piece for Iron Valiant. And lastly, let's look at some Iron Valiant sets. So this first one, we have the mixed special attacker role. Yeah, so Close Combat, Moonblast, Thunderbolt, Psyshock. These four moves with the Life Orb hits most of the metagame really, really hard. The Terra type is Psychic to kind of blow past those poisons that could give this trouble. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of slap on four moves, be a little mixed attacker. You can hit from both ends of the spectrum depending on what you're faced up with. Very simple. Next we have a Boost Energy set. It's very similar, so Boost Energy and Speed with Swords Dance this time. Close Combat, Terra Blast, Knockoff. Terra Blast with the Terra Fairy acts as a little bit stronger of a stab fairy option than the alternative in Spirit Break. Again, like with Iron Valiant, you just have so many options. These three moves can be whatever you want it to be if you're running this type of set, whatever you want to hit for, whatever like three moves that hit your opponent for the best amount of damage. These are just kind of like stock standard, like potential ideas sets, like kind of they just kind of serve as like metrics, I guess, for whatever you want to. You can just build upon these. They're just like the basis, essentially. Yeah, that's a Swords Dance set. Really strong. really strong. There's not a lot of things that can beat that. Next we have just raw choice band. Same kind of mix of attacks, Terra Fairy, and Trick to potentially trick onto some like passive walls to just make them obsolete. Very, very easy, just kind of rips through teams if they are not prepared. With that regard in mind, we have Choice Specs, Moonblast, Focus Blast, Sideshock Thunderbolt. You can just mix and match whatever you want. This offers good, like a good mix of super effective hits. Got the stabs, got Sideshock for the poisons, Thunderbolt for fat waters and fat flyings. And yeah, you're just gonna be smacking things across the room. Lastly, we have a Calm Mindset with Boost Energy to get plus essentially a Quiver Dance after a Calm Mind. So you just get that +1 speed, +1 special attack, +1 special defense. As usual, these moves can be whatever the hell you want. Whatever you want to hit, whatever your team needs you to hit, it works. Calm Mind just makes this even stronger than you could imagine, honestly. And lastly, we just have a Scarfer. Good revenge killer, solid. It could be mixed. It's mixed here because it just wants to hit maybe something that's really especially bulky, like the fucking Blissey or something. I don't know. But these kind of mixed moves, again, could just be whatever you want. All that good stuff. So yeah. That's gonna do it for Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant's probably one of my favorite new Pokemon this generation. It's insane. Absolutely insane Pokemon. I love this thing to death. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. If this video gets to 50 likes, I will absolutely do another one of these. And leave a comment below of what Pokemon you'd like to see next. I'll take suggestions, unless I get like a really good idea of what I want to do next. I'll absolutely consider any comments that you guys leave. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. And yeah, peace.